April is Autism Awareness Month, and over the weekend, families of children with developmental disabilities had the chance to test run a trip to the airport in preparation for their summer vacations. WECT's Sydney Hoover got a chance to go through the motions with them. Take a look.
Getting through a busy airport can be a stressful experience for anyone, but those loud, crowded spaces can be especially difficult for children with autism. That's why the Center for Pediatric Behavioral Health, in partnership with other community organizations, hosts Autism Takes Flight each year.
Individuals with autism can have difficulty with participating in things that are out of their typical routine, or being in environments that are overly stimulating with just lots of new things, really loud noises, unexpected noises.
Autism Takes Flight allows children with developmental disabilities and their families to practice going through the airport, from checking their bags to going through security and finally boarding the airplane. Now in its 8th year, the program has seen success, this year helping 100 different families prepare for their summer vacations. Bachmeyer said many families have come back year after year.
And they've contacted us or they've come back the following year and shared with us that they were able to successfully travel to go somewhere fun with their loved one or to go and visit family, and they hadn't previously been able to do that.
For children who participate in the program, like John Hoyle, it means feeling more confident going through the airport.
One day I will go to a flight with Mom, and this is just practice.
And hopefully someday visiting his dream destination.
Disney World.
Sydney Hoover, WECT News.